Good day friends, welcome to my channel Ledger&Logic. Continuing with what we had left earlier in theory base of accounting. Just to recap, our syllabus is of 100 marks, financial accounting part 1 56 marks, part 2 24 marks, project work 20 marks, so that would make total 100 marks. Part 1 will focus on theory and accounting process. Part 1 will focus on theory and accounting process. Part 2 will focus on financial statements of sole proprietorship. We have done this earlier, so let us move forward from where we have to continue. The last we had stopped at GST. GST stands for Goods and Service Tax. The slogan is one country, one tax. To give you a brief, our taxes are basically divided into two parts, the direct tax and the indirect tax. The direct tax is basically the income tax. Indirect taxes earlier was divided again into two parts, central level taxes and state level taxes. Central level taxes included service tax, excise duty, central sales tax, CST, and custom duties. State level taxes included VAT, value added tax, entry tax, octroi, luxury tax. Now there were various taxes, as you can see, as I gave you the list. Now all these taxes were subsumed, they were ended and they were replaced by a single tax called Goods and Service Tax Act. Simplified? Yes, it is simplified, but as we move on, it has its own set of nitty-gritties, but certainly it has simplified life from what it was earlier. Goods and Service Tax Act, GST in short, is a destination based tax. Means the tax is levied at the place of consumption or at the place of supply. The components of GST are SGST, State Goods and Service Tax Act, Central Goods and Service Tax Act, CGST, and Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. As the name suggests, SGST is levied at the state level, CGST by the central government, and IGST combined goes to the center, but then it is divided between the center and the states. The aim of GST is to avoid cascading effect of taxes. GST says tax would be levied at all stages, right from manufacture to the final consumption. It will be levied at every stage. So the logical question comes up is, how do you neutralize the impact of cascading at every stage? When you levy taxes, the taxes keep on increasing, so at the end you will get a product with a very heavy level of taxes. So how do we take care of the same? So that's how the concept of input tax credit has come into picture. Whatever tax is levied at one stage, you can take a credit of the same at the next stage. This happens till the time you reach the stage of final consumption, or at the level where the final consumer gets the goods. He will consume the goods, and he is the person who will be finally bearing the taxes. So in short, GST is a tax which is levied only on the value addition because of the input tax credit that you can take at the time of meeting your GST liability in respect of the taxes which you have paid when you procured the materials. So you procured the materials, used them in your manufacture, so whatever taxes you paid on the procurement, you can take an input tax credit when you are meeting your own GST liability, when you are subselling it at the next stage. So that is how the cascading effect gets removed. So in a nutshell, final consumer would bear the tax eventually. So now with this background, let us take a very simple example of how SGST and CGST works. I'll take this example from the NCERT textbook only. If a person in MP sells goods to another person in Rajasthan worth 1 lakh, and applicable GST rate is 18%, that is 9% CGST and 9% SGST. In this case, the dealer will charge 18,000, that is 18% of 1 lakh as IGST, and it will go to the central government. So the question that is the IGST, as we have understood earlier, is Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Revenue collected under IGST is divided between the central and the state governments at the rates specified by the government. So it will be eventually divided between the center and the state government. Let us take another example. A dealer in Punjab sells goods to another person in Punjab worth 10,000. Again, if the GST rate is 18%, that is 9% CGST and 9% SGST, rupees 900 will go to central government and rupees 900 will go to the Punjab government. So that is how the mechanism of goods and service tax is operational, or it works. Now, with this understanding, let us try and understand why GST was introduced. What are the real advantages of GST? The first advantage which we can all think of is it has a mechanism which stops the cascading effects of taxes because of the input tax credit. Now what happens is, because there is no cascading effect of taxes, your goods and services are competitively priced. The consumer gets the goods at the right price. Your products become competitive in the international market. So these are all the reasons why GST has an edge over our earlier system of taxes, which has been subsumed or removed because of the GST coming into picture. So this in a nutshell has completed your very basic level understanding of GST. This basic level of understanding of GST is the foundation on which more operational aspects of GST will be built. There are rules, there are nitty-gritties where how the taxes get levied, what are the various documentation which would need to be made so that leakages at any point in time to the government gets plugged. And this is what makes an act more procedural, slightly more complicated, more documentary, more reconciliation based, but the basic fact remains the same, that it's a destination based tax. There is an input tax credit, there is SGST at the state level, there is CGST at the central level, and there is IGST where both center and the state get involved, even though it goes to the center, but eventually it is divided between the center and the states. And the most important is, this is a tax only on the value addition, and that is what makes your goods competitive, or the consumers get the goods at the right price. Your goods become competitive in the international market, and which is what every country today strives. So with this we end this session. It has been a short session because we have already covered quite a bit in our earlier sessions. So till we meet again and I prepare for the next topic to be taken up for you, good day and good luck. Thanks. Bye.